Welcome back. We had some overcast skies today with temperatures at 78 degrees, winds going south at 5 miles per hour, and the humidity at 56% and the barometric pressure at 30.00 and steady. Now for our area condition, it looks like all around overcast skies with Shelburne, Indiana at 77, Lagodi at 73, Petersburg at 73, and Olney, Illinois at 77. Now, as you take a look into our forecast of the U.S., temperatures all around are looking cooler because it's falling into the fall season, with the New England area all the way down into the Atlantic coast in the 50s to the 80s, with Greensboro, South Carolina at 76 degrees and Jacksonville, Florida at 82 degrees. Now for the northern, central, and also southern plains, temperatures are looking to be in the 50s to the 90s with Lincoln, Nebraska at 67 degrees and Dallas, Texas at 82 degrees. Now as we move into the west along the coast, temperatures are in the 50s, 60s, and also 70s, with Portland, Oregon at 58 degrees and San Francisco at 68. Now as we move into our frontal map, all around is dry conditions. Now this is because of the high pressure systems in the northern and also central plains. But we need to take a look at this low pressure system and its associated front. Now this is what's bringing us a chance of showers and thunderstorms. As you guys can see, it's causing some showers and thunderstorms for the northern plains. And as we move into our forecast, you guys will notice that we do have a 20% chance all over for some showers and thunderstorms. Now for tonight, mostly cloudy skies, light south winds, low with the 59. Tomorrow, 20% chance for showers, partly sunny west winds going to 5 to 10 miles per hour with a high of 78. Now for tomorrow night condition, partly cloudy skies, calm wind with a low of 53. Now for our extended forecast, looks like Thursday partly sunny, Friday mostly sunny, and Saturday mostly sunny with Thursday at a high of 71 and a low of 49, Friday with a high of 67 and a low of 45, and Saturday with a high of 71 and a low of 50. So it looks like we can expect the sun to shine brightly for our first day of fall on Friday, Mitch.
All right, great. Sounds good. Thanks, Danny. The Vinson School Corporation plans to honor some former athletes. Cody Cully is in now with the details. Cody?
That's right, Mitch. Before too long, you might be driving down Curtis Painter Lane or Clint Barmas Boulevard. I'll have the details when we return.
Seven local teenagers were arrested in the hate crime killing of an Ecuadorian immigrant in Patchogue, New York.
My brother is dead, and I don't want no more hate for nobody else.
What happened is a tragedy that will forever change this community.
A town that refused to turn away when their values were shaken.
You know, somebody had to die for us to realize.
It's hard to speak up.
Everybody said no.
All over America, there are buildings in the shape of something.
The Big Muskie was put up in 1978.
And you'd be amazed how many people come through town just to see the ketchup bottle.
And I think people love something that really gives a place a stamp that makes it look different.
This is all what they call, I believe, roadside architecture.
I think people like outrageous things.
It's that curiosity that we all have.
We call it a program about unusual buildings and other roadside stuff.
Alice is to honor former sports greats. Good evening, everyone. For WVUT Sports, I'm Cody Cully. Street signs honoring former Lincoln High School athletes will soon be installed on the roads leading through the high school and Clark Middle School. Superintendent Tom Nante says the 5 athletes being recognized achieved success at both the high school and professional level.
We're going to name one of the roadways on the campus of Lincoln after Clint Barmas, a well-known baseball player, and Curtis Painter. Are awfully proud of him with the pro football and the Colts.
Other LHS grads to be honored include NFL players Dan Stryzinski and Dave Carter and basketball player Bud Olson. Nante says the Vinson Street Department will provide the poles and signs for the project. Nante says they hope to invite the athletes and their families back for a dedication ceremony sometime in the future. On the local sports scene, the Vincennes Lincoln volleyball team lost in 3 games to Bar Reeve, 21-25, 11-25, 14-25. Taylor Nash had 5 points and 10 assists. Kristen Seeger finished with 6 kills. Brittany Bushy had 18 digs, and Allie Bobe 5 points and 14 digs. The Lady Alice's slipped to 14-8. Elsewhere, the South Knox volleyball team downed Forest Park 29-27, 25-23, 25-21. And North Knox defeated Red Hill 25-9, 25-8, 25-7. Tony Stewart picked a good time to win his first NASCAR race of the Sprint Cup season, beating Kevin Harvick by just 1 second to claim Monday's rain-delayed Sprint Cup event at Chicagoland Speedway. Smoke had made just enough fuel to make it to the finish line and would win the first Sprint Cup chase for the race this year.
Where we're at in the chase right now, I mean, we had to press, and you know, I was glad I saved as much as I did, but you know, I had a good enough car to get us there, and you know, Darian and his calls and the car that they gave us the opportunity to get to the lead where we were able to do that.
It was Stewart's 40th career win in the Cup Series and tied him with Mark Martin for 16th on the all-time wins list. Mariano Rivera moved up in the baseball history books. The Yankee closer pitched a perfect 9th inning, striking out Chris Parmelli on what appeared to be his signature cut fastball to end the Yanks' 6-4 win over the Twins on Monday. In doing so, Rivera picked up career save number 602, passing former San Diego Padres closer Trevor Hoffman.
You know, I like to be on the radar and do my job, you know, so I mean, I was getting uncomfortable. Jason was giving me all kind of things to do, so I mean, I said, man, let it happen quick, so I mean, we get this thing over and we move on. We have a place to go, you know, we have to grab that place in the playoff, so I mean, we have a lot of job to do.
Rivera's 602 saves have come in 674 chances. Trevor Hoffman got his 601 in 677 tries. The St. Louis Cardinals drew closer in the National League wildcard race as they defeated Roy Halladay and the Phillies 4-3. Lance Berkman hit a solo home run and drove in 2, with Albert Pujols adding an RBI double as the Redbirds have won 10 of their last 12 games. St. Louis pulls to within 2.5 games of Atlanta in the chase for the wild card. The Braves lost to Florida last night in Miami. Kyle Loesch pitched 7 1/3 shutout innings to improve to 14-8. Halladay went 8 innings, giving up all 4 Cardinal runs. The New York Giants got in the win column Monday night with a 28-16 home win over the St. Louis Rams. Eli Manning led the way, completing 18 of 29 passes for 200 yards, 2 scores and a pick. All 4 of the New York's touchdowns resulted directly from St. Louis mistakes. Sam Bradford threw for 331 yards and a score, but only led his offense to 1 TD and 3 field goals in the red zone. The NFL has fined Falcons cornerback Dante Robinson $40,000 for his hit on Eagles receiver Jeremy Maclin. The league did not suspend Robinson, although it has said hits like the one he put on Maclin could lead to such action. Robinson is a repeat offender, having been fined $25,000 last year for a similar hit on the Eagles' Deshaun Jackson that left both players with concussions. Replays clearly showed Robinson leading with his helmet, something the league has been adamant about eliminating. Finally in sports, there was a Peyton Manning sighting at the Colts complex on Monday. Manning had spent Monday's practice walking briskly around the team's indoor practice facility. It is the first time the 4-time NFL MVP has been spotted working out since undergoing his second neck surgery in 5 months. Manning is out indefinitely following the second procedure, which was performed on September 8th. It goes without saying, Mitch, that the Colts missed their field general, but hopefully he'll be ready for the 2012 campaign.
We hope so. Thanks, Cody. There's something definitely creepy about a peeping Tom, but coming up next, we'll meet a man who is peeping on the peepers and who might just be able to keep ladies from falling victim to them. We'll explain more when we return. Stay with us.
sung more opera roles than any tenor in history. Now, the legendary Placido Domingo tells us which were his personal best.
My favorite roles.
And why.
In real life, I want to be happy, but on stage, it's wonderful to suffer.
Join Placido Domingo on an intimate journey through his favorite roles. Only on Great Performances.
Hi, I'm Roy Underhill. Please join me as we make the one-piece book stand for the great French master, André Roubaud. It's all one piece of beautiful walnut, carefully separated to hinge open and yet stay together. We'll see how to lay it out, see how to chisel the knuckles, and learn that it's not so much the sawing that's important as it is the stopping sawing. That's next time right here in the Woodwright Shop.
Someone is turning the tables on possible peeping Toms in New York City. Jeannie Mose introduces us to the man who says he's exposing guys who look up women's skirts.
He is the keeper of the peepers, using his video camera to document what happens on these couple of steps in New York's Union Square.
Peeping is the act of staring up girls' skirts.
This artist, who calls himself Normal Bob, found the peepers so outrageous he began recording them.
This is Methods of a Peeper 2, and here's a row of peepers here. Stay tuned for Methods of a Peeper 4, where I'll be discussing front row peeping.
His mission?
Make a joke out of them, expose them, humiliate them.
Women who sit on steps in skirts, beware.
A peeper pack, where more than one, 2 or more peepers gather.
Now, for legal reasons, we had to blur the faces of all of the peepers, which is a shame because it hides what gives them away, their eyes. Forget obvious movie techniques like dropping change. Get up. Real peepers position themselves right in front of the woman.
He made a passenger window on his lap. He was sitting like this and he was looking.
Here he goes, making the window, looking back through the window.
A peeper contacted Bob through his website to set him straight.
What they're actually doing is trying to cover their eyes so that the girl can't see where his eyes are aiming.
Peepers use baseball caps and cell phones to hide their eyes. Bob has an acronym for their techniques.
The MACMA is the make-believe acting casual milling about.
Though sometimes they don't even bother acting busy.
Just stand and stare. Just no shame to the game.
Women tend to either be oblivious or to ignore it. And when we told this actress...
It is creepy, but I mean, relax and enjoy. Thank God I have my purse in between my legs.
But their audacity is amazing.
Sitting directly between them, staring up their skirts.
And if peeping isn't bad enough, there's picture peeping. This guy seems to walk around with his video camera rolling, held low. It's illegal to surreptitiously record someone's private parts, but plain old peeping isn't against the law. As for Bob himself...
I'm a peeper, and I'm very persistent. In some ways, I relate to the obsession because I'm obsessed with watching them.
Jeannie Mose, CNN.
This is front row peeping at its best.
New York.
And that's all for this evening. For Danny Taborn and Cody Cully, I'm Mitch Columbi. Join us again the same time tomorrow. Good night.
This is WVUT Vincennes.